Lesson 5 vocabulary. So we are learning how to use this particle called ga. So ga is what we want to use to describe a secondary object. Right? So we have a subject, we have a secondary subject, which we can call it the object, right? Which means it's the item of reference, the thing that we want to refer to and describe it. Right? So it can be like, for example, a person. Right? A person is my subject. The specific part of that person's body or the personality is my object that I want to focus on, right? Object of focus. So I want to describe that particular attitude, personality, appearance, right? So this is why we have to use this secondary particle, object particle called ga, right? It is used to describe a characteristic. Okay, so number 1, we have Sato-san wa me ga kirei desu. So about Sato-san, right? This entire sentence is about her. What about her? Me ga kirei desu. So we are specifying her particular part of the body, which is her eyes, right? The eyes are clean and beautiful. We are not saying that any part of her other body is beautiful. We are just saying her eyes are beautiful. So we're trying to be very specific here, right? So for example, in Chinese we can say like, oh, 你的眼睛很美, right? 你的眼睛, right? 的, if you think about it, is a no particle, right? So what sets it apart, why we use wa instead of no in Japanese, right? Is because we use wa, it will be more of emphasizing about that person, that person's particular part of the body that we want to describe lah. Okay? If we use no, it's like as if we are trying to just in general say that this person's body part is beautiful, right? So it's like saying it from a third person perspective, right? Like, oh, her nose is pretty versus Sato-san is nose pretty, right? So if you think about the difference is, if we use wa, it's more of a, you're speaking from a third person's perspective. Like, oh, about her nose is nice, right? If you're talking from a first person perspective, like you just want to specify and state a fact, a statement, right? Oh, about her, her eyes is pretty, right? About this person, the eyes are pretty, the nose is pretty, right? So we are not trying to state a fact that her nose is pretty. We're just trying to give a general view, a general opinion that about her nose is pretty. That's about it. Right? So I don't think there's an equivalent in English, and I don't think the significance, the difference between the both is very huge. So you can use both interchangeably. The differences is very, very, very small. Right? You want to use no, you want to use wa, is also fine. However, the second particle will have to be a ga. Right? That one cannot negotiate. Because we are describing an object, we are not describing the person. Right? So it has to be a ga kirei desu, right? So why it must be ga kirei? Because adjective, right? Adjective, we are describing something, right? So that something must be our object of reference that we want to talk about, right? So it's either Sato-san no me, which is her eyes, or me ga, which is eyes, about the eyes only, right? Eyes is beautiful. So we need an object of reference. That's why we need to have the ga particle as the second one, right? We can't say Sato-san wa kirei desu, hana wa kirei desu, me wa kirei desu. So in this case, then whose eyes, whose ears, whose nose are we talking about? Right? So we are trying to reserve the wa, especially for the subject. Right? So whatever item that is like nose, very vague, like we don't know whose nose is this, then we will keep it as a ga. The only time we use me wa is when we are saying all the eyes in the world in general. Okay? Me wa kirei desu. That means you're saying, oh, eyes are pretty. Right? That means you're attracted to eyes, not just particular person's eyes. Right? So that is the main difference between how we use wa and ga. Right? So I give you another example last week also. It's like the Lee Hsien Loong one. Right? So, 私は Lee Hsien Loong が好き. I like Lee Hsien Loong. Lee Hsien Loong は something が好き. He likes something. Right? So, Lee Hsien Loong は好き. It means he likes. Lee Hsien Loong が好き. Lee Hsien Loong は好き means I like Lee Hsien Loong. Somebody likes Lee Hsien Loong. Right? Then, Lee Hsien Loong が好き. That means he likes this particular thing. Maybe I make the second one, right? The Lee Hsien Loong が好き. I'm making him as the object. That means he's the object that is being liked. The first one is he is the thing that likes something. He is the reference point. He is the person, the subject that likes something. The second one using the ga is he is the item being liked. He is the object being liked. Somebody likes him. Right, so that is the main difference between wa and ga. It's a little bit confusing at the moment. But you just need to understand ga, usually we will use it for our object that we want to talk about, describe about. Wa is just the subject that we are just trying to say overall in the whole sentence. Okay, then we have a next one is also watashi wa ringo ga suki desu. So about me, apples I like. Right? So the object of reference here is the apple. The object of focus that I want to talk about is apples. Right? Ringo. Then moving on, we have the question word. Next page, nani ga. So nani ga, nani is what, right? So nani ga, right? We use the ga because we want to say what is the object that we want to reference. Right? We are asking a question. What is the object that you are trying to reference? Nani ga. Moving on, we can also use doko ga, dare ga, right? Depending on what you're trying to ask. Okay, so nani ga, doko ga, dare ga. Number 3, we have watashi wa atama ga itai desu. So about me, my head is pain. Right? We can also say my head is pain. The difference is very, very small. But the main difference between using a no and wa, right? I repeat again. Main difference between using a no and the ga is that if you use a wa, is you are saying in general, this person the head is pain. If you are using no, watashi no atama ga, that means like, oh, my head. You are just specifying that in that condition, in that situation, that this person's head is pain. Right? So if you use wa, it's more of a in general, kind of passing remark. Right? It's like you are a third person, third party. Oh, this person, about him, his head pain. Right? If you are describing about in first person yourself, you might want to say watashi no atama ga itai desu. Right? Okay, so to put it again into perspective, it's like a nurse talking to a doctor. The doctor asks what happened to this person. Oh, about him, his head is pain. Versus when you're first person complaining to the doctor, would you say that, oh, about me, my head is pain? You almost like say, oh, my head is pain. Right? So it's like a third person and a first person thing. But honestly, the difference is very small, so you don't have to really bother about wa or no. Which one is better? Because in a GRPT exam, they will not put two answers which are acceptable or so close to each other in the exam. So you don't have to worry about that. Okay? Okay, next we move on to... Okay, that's all for lesson 5. The grammar particles that we learned. So far, any questions? The conversation, okay?
So you're saying, so it's actually possible to not use ga?
What do you mean by no need to use ga?
Can you say like, you know that adjective followed by the noun, say.
So you're saying like, for
So we
example...
just use the adjective followed by the noun without saying, you know, what?
Yeah lah, so beautiful car.
So noun, ga, adjective.
Yeah. There's a few ways, right? You need to go back to lesson 4. Lesson 4, we have a few ways to say, right? So, the one that you're saying, right, we go for the adjective first. Adjective, then noun. Karui, kaban desu.
So I can do that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We learned this in lesson 4.
So,
Yeah, so I was already confused with your question.
No, so what is the purpose of?
Okay, this one is when we put the adjective in front of the noun. Right? Kaban is back, so it's a noun. Karui is my adjective. So in this case, kore wa karui kaban desu. Full stop. Right? This is a light bag. Right? But if you want to use ga, it's more suitable for like... Okay, so in this case, kono machi wa atarashi desu. This town is new. But if you want to describe something that belongs to you, right? So, for example, number 1, kono toke wa furui desu. This watch is new. This watch is old. As compared to kono toke ga furui desu. But however, we are talking about this watch, right? So, kono toke ga kirei desu. So it's more appropriate to use ga for this one because we are directly describing the watch. This is just a statement. Oh, the watch is old. As compared to, hey, your watch is old. Ga furui desu. So it's more of an object reference. So it's more specifically referring to your particular watch. Remember, it's a first person and not first person. It's a passing remark versus a statement. Like you want to say, この時計が古いです. Wow, this clock very old. Like it's more of an emphasis on the clock. この時計は古いです. The emphasis is on the 古い. Right? So it depends on what you are trying to describe here. Are you trying to emphasize on that watch, that particular watch is old? Are you particular about that it is an old watch?
Oh, so okay. Very
Yeah.
old.
Which one do you want to emphasize on?
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, no worries. It's good to clarify. Yeah. So usually I will use ga if it's adjective behind it lah. Because usually I will need the object of reference to describe it. So I would say I will use ga. Unless I just want to say like a passing remark. The clock is old. My emphasis is on the old. If I want to emphasize on your watch, then I will use ga. It's like あなたの時計が古いですね. Right? So it's like your watch is old. So it's a more emphasis on the watch, the item itself, right? The object itself. This one is a statement that is emphasizing on the old itself. Yeah. Okay. Okay, since we are good, we go on to the homework lesson 4 conversation. So lesson 4 conversation. Was it this one? 37. This one is it?
Yes.
The map one is it? Okay. Yes. So question 1. 郵便局はどこですか?
Yeah, I thought we're done.
We done?
So
Oh,
that's
sorry.
the bottom one.
This one. Okay, sorry. This one. 木村さんはお元気ですか? Yes, we start from my head to you.
Hi. 木村さんは元気です。
木村さんは元気です. Let me check out. Still flipping. Okay, lesson 5 passage. Lesson 5 passage. Okay, so lesson 5. This is lesson 5 passage.
Lesson 4.
Lesson 5 passage.
The telephone one.
Oh yeah. Okay. Wow, this textbook a lot of page. Lesson 4.
57.
Yeah, 57. Okay, so he is Genki, right? So because he said in the third line, Hai okage-sama de saiki choushi wa dou desu ka? So the first word Hai already says that he's Genki. So her answer is Genki desu. Hai Genki desu. Full stop. It's fine. Okay, Hai Genki desu. Full stop. Did you write okage-sama de? You copy? No. The one don't need to copy. Okay, okage-sama de is from a first person perspective to reply. So if you want to thank the person for asking the question, then you say okage-sama de. Right now we're just asking whether he is fine or not. We are third person already, so we don't need to repeat the okage-sama de. So you can just say Hai Genki desu.
But the question says Genki, right?
Yeah, so O is just a polite particle,
Right.
it's just a polite marker. So the one is optional when you're replying a question. But when you're asking a question, the one is must. Okay. Number 2 we have 田中さんの調子はどうですか?
田中さんの調子はまあまあです。
Okay, very good. So the answer is just まあまあです. Right? You can copy the entire question, you're not wrong. Or you can just reply まあまあです. How do we know? Because of the fourth line, right? He said まあまあです. So まあまあ is? So. Okay, number 3. 木村さんの仕事はどうですか? Yes, it is.
木村さんはとても忙しいです。
Okay, とても忙しいです. How do we know? Because the fourth line they ask 仕事はどうですか? Then the next line he replies そうですね、とても忙しいです. So とても忙しいです is already saying very busy. Right, we need to try to capture the word very. Okay, とても忙しいです. Try to capture the word very. Okay, last one. 木村さんの給料はどうですか？
給料は
Yeah.
あまり良くないんです。
Okay, あまり良くないんです。Very good. We don't need to copy the Kai-hen this. Kai-hen is just his reaction. Because it's bad, that's why it's sian. Right? It's just his reaction, so we don't need to capture his reaction. We just need to answer the question, which asks how is his salary, which is not so good, right? あまり良くないです。So we just need to capture the 良くない。あまり良くないです。Right? あまり is like not so, so we need to capture the not so also. Right? So あまり良くないです。Full stop is fine. We don't need to capture the Kai-hen this. Kai-hen is just his reaction towards the low salary. Okay? Now the median graduate salary very high now, NUS, my major back then when I graduated was like 3 years ago, it was like $4,100 for Mac Eng. Now it's 5,000 median salary. It went up 900 in 3 years. Wow, it's like as if I graduate this year I also get the same salary also. Yeah, it's really not good. The salary really not good. Meanwhile, inflation is on track. Our salary not on track. Ay, salary really not good. 良くないです。Okay.
Remember when I Google translated this line, they told me about Kimura-san's cucumber.
Okay, I think because right, you use image capture, right?
Yeah.
That's why I think they missaw the word.
Ah,
So
okay.
cucumber is QD.
Right.
QD.
Okay, this is
給料.
okay.
Yeah, so that's the difference. Yeah.
Okay. I tried like 3 times and it's cucumber also.
I think it's the printing lah. The printing is terrible lah.
Okay.
I'm still in the middle of trying to redesign the entire textbook. As in, this one is by another teacher.
Okay.
I wanted to write my own one. I got no time to get to that. Yeah, cause this thing has been photocopied don't know how many times already. And when I joined right, don't know photocopy how many times already, then I go and scan it. Finally, I'm the first one who scan it. Then the scan version is still not very good, as you can see, it's terrible.
So you want every year just photocopy it?
Yeah, they just keep photocopying.
There's no OG.
There's a master set, then they just keep photocopying that one. Then that one become lan, then they will just like, take another set and just photocopy again.
Okay.
So it's, yeah. So the one that you are seeing right now is, I don't know, I think the 5th or 6th or 7th, I don't know. This place has been around for 40 years, so I don't know how many copies really. Yeah, so I'm trying to create my own one. Okay, well. Okay, come lesson 5. Homework. So the first question, example. これはカバンです bracket 大きい. So 大きい is big, right? カバン is bag. So I want to describe the bag. So the answer is これは大きいカバンです. Right? これは, right? We don't use か here. We use は because we want to describe, just briefly say that this is a big bag. We don't want to describe the これ, right? We don't want to like これ is just this. So this is not the object that we want to be of reference. Like we just want to introduce it. We don't want to describe or emphasize anything about this old bag. Like we're not trying to say これ, like we're not trying to emphasize the これ, right? So we just use は to just give a brief description of this thing, right? So number 1, これは時計です。有名。
これは有名な時計です。
Okay, very good. 有名な時計です。Thank you. Because 有名 is a na adjective, so we have to add the na in between my adjective and the noun. So, right, our na adjective follows our noun a lot. So in between it and the noun, we need to add a particle. So in this case, it's the na particle. Okay, if you forget, please put it in. Number 2, あれは雑誌です。
あれは面白い雑誌です。
Very good. So 面白い ends with a e, so it's an e adjective. We don't need to put anything in between it and the noun. Right? E adjective has this exception, so we don't need to put anything. So 面白い雑誌です。Number 3, 彼は人です。
あれは親切な人です。
Very good. So 親切 is a na adjective, so we need to put the na. Right? 親切な人です。Number 4, 私は好きです。果物。
私は
Kudamono.
Kudamono ga suki desu.
Very good. So, watashi wa kudamono ga suki desu. Right, so in this case, we put in the ga because we are specifying our object. Our object of reference that we are talking about is fruits. So the subject is me. The object that I want to talk about is fruits. Alright, what about fruits? Suki. Right, I like. Okay. In this case, if I replace the wa with a no, watashi no kudamono ga suki desu, what does it become? I like my fruits. Then what fruits do you have? Right? So it's very, you can see it's a little bit inappropriate if we use no in this kind of situation, right? So we have to stick to wa. Wa is emphasizing you are the third party saying about that thing. So in this case, we are the third party talking about fruits. So that's why we just use wa. Right? Fruits is not belong to me, it's not part of me, it's not part of my body, it's not belong to me. So we cannot say watashi no kudamono ga suki desu. Unless you grow your own fruits lah, you have a farm at home lah, then you can say your fruits are the best, you like your fruits. Right? But in this case, you can see the difference lah, talking in third party and first party. Okay,
Next level question. If I want to say I don't like fruits.
Ski is an adjective.
Okay, so it's ga suki jarimasen.
Correct.
Okay,
Correct. Okay, number 5. Suzuki-san wa jouzu desu. Bracket eigo. Yes, back to Zui.
Suzuki-san wa eigo ga jouzu desu.
Very good. So eigo ga jouzu desu. Right? Can you say that Suzuki-san no eigo ga jouzu desu? Does it make sense?
I think he very big.
The eigo is English. So jouzu is good at. So his English is good at. Which means he's very good at English lah. So his English is high level. Right? We can also say use no in this case, right? Yeah.
Then will we use ga or wa if we use no?
You have to use ga. So we have to say Suzuki-san no eigo ga jouzu desu. Yeah. No, we can use wa and no. Either one. I'm just saying in this scenario we can use no. Because we're talking about his English proficiency. Right? Eigo can be English. It can be like talking about English proficiency as well. So in this case, we can use no as well to describe his proficiency. Proficiency is part of him, right? So we can use no in this case. But as I mentioned, no is talking from a first person perspective. If he is not around, you might want to use wa instead. Right? As a third party, there's a person outside the circle, the conversation. What's that? Oh, about him, his English is good. Right?
So if I use no, then eigo wa
Ga.
jouzu desu.
Ga. We are describing about his English proficiency.
So can I use wa?
No. No, she's saying, right? Suzuki-san no eigo ga jouzu desu. She want to change the second ga into wa. So I say no. Cannot. Right? It has to be describing his proficiency. So we have to use ga. The object of reference is his proficiency. Yeah. Okay? So ga is must have one if you're describing something. Wa or no, it depends on the context. It depends on whether you are talking to him face to face in person, first person, or you're just talking behind his back, third person. Right? So it's like, if you're behind his back, it's like 他这个不好 right? 鼻子很难看 right? So it's really a third person perspective, right? Then if you're in front of him, you don't say 他 why would you want to 他 when he's in front of you? You'll be like 你的鼻子难看 right? Right? So you can see the difference between third party and the first party when you are saying this thing lah. So this is why we can use no and wa depending on whether the person of reference is there in the conversation or not. Right? So if it's not there, then you use wa will be better. Because you are speaking in third party, you just want to describe about him, then wa is better. If he's in front of you, then you want to say, oh, your English language is good. Yeah, right? You want to directly first person compliment him, then we use anata no eigo ga jouzu desu. Like your English is good. If he's not in front of you, we don't need to use Tanaka-san no eigo ga jouzu desu. We can just like Tanaka-san wa eigo ga jouzu desu. It's like about him, 他 about him, just basically it's like just describing the person, right? He's the subject in our conversation. Oh, about him, his English is good, right? But if you're in front of him, you don't say about you, your English is good, right? So that is the difference, the main difference. Okay, we move. Yes, yes.
Is it wrong to say this Suzuki-san wa jozu na ego? Yes.
Okay.
Can you use the na?
Cannot. If we want to say 就是拿 ego, it becomes good English. So Suzuki-san is good English. Is he a good English? Right. So it doesn't quite suit the situation, right? You want to say he has good English. His English is good. But we cannot say that he is a good English. It's like saying I am an apple. So we don't I'm a red apple, right? Doesn't quite make sense, right? Yeah, so in that case the sentence structure don't work. Right? So think of the what as a is or am. He is an apple. That doesn't sound correct also, right? So we have to describe like okay, apple is not a very good example. Okay, he is English. He is good English. That means it's like saying that you understand you want to say that he has good English or his English is good. Right, but in this case we cannot say he is good English. Okay? The one that you're saying is he is good English versus the one in the question is his English is good. Our subject of reference, object of reference is totally different. Right? So instead of saying he is good English, which means like 他是好英文 which is wrong, we need to change it a little bit and use English in the subject itself or use English in the object itself. Right? His English is good, or his or about Tanaka, his about Tanaka's English is good. So our is needs to be behind, further behind. That means our subject needs to be longer. Okay, moving on to number 6. Hayashi-san wa heta desu. Bracket uta.
林さんは歌が下手です。
Very good. So Hayashi-san wa uta ga heta desu. Okay, so uta has two meaning lah. It can be singing, it can be song. Just FYI lah. It can be song, it can be singing. Or rather the act of singing rather than singing lah. It's a noun, right? The act of singing. Okay, so uta ga heta desu. Number 7. Watashi wa hoshii desu. Bracket 新しいうち。Very good. So about me, I want a new house, right? 私は新しい家が欲しいです。So about me, I want a new house. Right? So usually for this kind of descriptive thing, adjective, verbs in Japanese, usually we put it at the end of the sentence. If you realize our questions is also at the end of the question also. Like for example, 何が好き? あなたの名前は何ですか? So Japanese like to put all these kind of like verbs, adjective and questions all the way at the back. Then at the front is our subject. English is a little bit opposite. The subject is in front, then the adjective is in the middle, then the ending is just like this is my house. In Japanese it's like this house is mine. Right? So it's a little bit like kind of opposite in the way of the sentence structure lah. So you cannot bring English understanding into this. You need to understand it from a different perspective. Chinese also not accurate. If you want to directly translate Chinese sentences into Japanese, the sentence structure is also wrong. Right? Japanese has a very unique thing such that the adjective and the verbs are usually the sentence ender. That means they end the sentence with either adjective or a verb. Chinese, we don't really end it with a verb. So you need to stop thinking in terms of Chinese and English in terms of sentence structure lah. You need to try to absorb a new way to understand this sentence. Like, oh, this is a Japanese way of writing a sentence. Then you must try to adopt this mindset. If not, if you try to compare the English and try to compare the Chinese, you will forever cannot find a similarity. You will never find a 共和点. you will not find the common ground. Because there is no common ground between Chinese, Japanese and English. The sentence structure is really very random. Even our Singaporean Chinese, right, the way we say Chinese in Singapore, it's very English. The sentence structure is English. So, I mean, I have a few Chinese friends, they will be like, this one is supposed to be there. Like the entire sentence structure is a bit off. Right? Because we are used to thinking in English, so it's very normal for us to think from an English standpoint and then you translate in English. You directly translate the sentence over, like word by word. Then you just say out in your mind. So that is not the way you should be doing translation directly lah. So you should actually form the thoughts in Japanese itself. So for me nowadays, I just reply, I don't really need to do the translation anymore. Straight away I reply back in Japanese. It's not like they they talk to me in Japanese, then I translate to English, then I translate back to, I reply in English, then after I translate my mind to Japanese, then I speak. So instead of that, it's very troublesome. Right? Instead of that, I listen in Japanese, I process in Japanese, I shoot back in Japanese. So there's no more translation to English in my head. Because I totally understand the fact that, I understand the mindset that, I have this mindset that English sentence structure cannot be used in Japanese. Yeah? Yeah? Okay, number 8. あれは自動車です。日本。Yeah.
あれは日本の自動車です。
Very good. So we have 自動車 which is a noun. We also have 日本 which is a noun. For noun and noun, in between only got one particle we can use. No. Right? So Japan car. 日本の自動車. Japan's car. Okay, we move on to the very next page. We have the translation practice. So, what do you like?
あなたは何が好きですか？
Very good. So, 何が好きですか? Okay, 何が好きですか? Next, I like Japanese apples.
私は日本のリンゴが好きです。
Okay, 私は日本のリンゴが好きです. Very good. So, about me, Japanese apples, I like. Okay. Number 2, what kind of song does your teacher like?
Sensei wa donata uta ga suki desu ka?
No donata, right? Donata is food, right?
Oh, whoops.
So, どんな?
Donna, okay.
Okay. あなたの先生は That is my subject, あなたの先生は Your teacher is my subject. あなたの先生はどんな歌が好きですか? Right? どんな So どんな is what kind, what type. So what kind of music is my object that I want to ask about. Right? So about this person, then this object, which is どんな歌が Right? どんな歌 What type of song? This is the object that I want to ask. I'm not trying to ask about the teacher, I'm trying to ask about the teacher's favorite song. Right? So the favorite song is the question that I want to ask. So this is why we use ga in this case. Okay. Next, he likes Chinese songs.
彼は中国語の歌が好きです。
Okay, 彼は中国語の歌が好きです. Very good. 彼は中国語の歌が好きです. Next, number 3. What type of person do you hate?
あなたはどんな人が嫌いですか？
Okay, very good. あなたは right about you, right? あなたはどんな人が right? My object is どんな人が then the adjective 嫌いですか right? Okay, moving on. I hate a noisy person.
私はうるさい人が嫌いです。
Okay, うるさい。私は about me うるさい人 noisy person I hate, right? 嫌いです。One more time, 私はうるさい人が嫌いです。Right? About me, noisy person I hate. This is a sentence structure in Japanese. 4. Are you good at playing soccer?
あなたはサッカーが得意ですか?
Oh, you translate you go translate We haven't learned Tokui.
Oh, you haven't learned 得意? Yes, then I Google Translator.
Josu. Change that to Josu. Okay, あなたはサッカーが上手ですか? Right? あなたはサッカーが上手ですか? Right? 上手 is be good at. Tokui is also to be good at, but it's more of a...
No, I learned it on Duolingo.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Tokui is more of a like specialization, like to be specialized in. So it's like I would say Jozu is just a general way of saying good at.
Alright.
Tokui is very like specialized, right? So for example, like soccer, right? Maybe you want to say like, oh, out of all the sports you specialize in soccer. Then we can say Tokui. Yeah, otherwise, we will use Josu in general to say, oh, I'm good at soccer, right? Same thing. If you're just talking about soccer, Tokui can be a position. Maybe you are the goalkeeper. You specialize in the goalkeeper. Then you can say goalkeeper ga Tokui desu. That means I am very specialized. I'm very good at specializing goalkeeper. Anyways, the word that she's using, I will just share into the class. I think it's how my textbook is there. Okay, Tokui. Tokui. Where is my keyboard? Tokui. This one. Tokui. It has a more specialized kind of like proficiency lah. So it's like, for example, a doctor. There's so many doctors, right? They specialize in different things, right? So they will say like, oh, watashi wa isha desu. Isha means doctor. I am a doctor. Then they can say like, oh, A&E ga tokui desu. That means I'm very good at A&E. That means they are very specialized in A&E, right? That means their specialization or their specialty is A&E. Yeah. So this tokui can be good at, but the good at is more like a specialty. Okay. So you can be a chef also, right? Chef cook many things, but your specialty is maybe Italian food. So Italia ryori ga tokui desu. Right? I'm particularly good at Italian food. That kind of. So this is the difference between jozu and tokui. Okay, I usually just recommend just use jozu. Oh, you're very good. Okay, because usually you wouldn't need to say that. Oh, your specialized is good. Tokui usually you use it on yourself. You say it out. People don't say it to you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's usually described on yourself. It's like, oh, I specialize in this. I'm very good at this, right? So jozu is like you compliment other people, but you cannot compliment other people using tokui. Tokui is something that you compliment yourself. You say something yourself, like, hey, I specialize in this. This is my specialty. Yeah. Okay. Yes.
So in this case, I also cannot use the noun, right?
No. So you're talking about
Josui na
saka.
Saka.
Okay, jozu na saka means soccer that is very good. Yeah, so it's like about me, soccer is very good. Soccer that is very good. You're not describing about yourself. You're describing that there's this soccer that is very good. Very good at what? So you never special. You never say about what. But anyways, the sentence structure is wrong already. Yeah. So soccer is a game lah. They cannot be good at anything, right? So it doesn't quite fit the profile. Okay. No, not at all. Next. No, not at all. Who is here? Yourself.
Oh, me. Ye Jozu. Sorry.
Jozu.
Ye Jozu ja arimasen.
Very good, but you're missing one part. Not at all. Anybody want to help him? Iye? Zen. Yeah, very good. Right? We need to add a zen because zen means not at all. Right? Your one is just no, not good. But you need to say the not at all, not good at all. So we need to say add a zen. So zen like it's, in Chinese we say 根本没有这么好，根本就不好. Right? It's like really just emphasizing your not so good. Right? So 全然上手ではありません. So 全然 is an adverb. We put it in front of our adjective. Right? 全然上手ではありません. Or 上手じゃありません. Okay. 5. Do you have a headache now? Back to 智慧.
今
Okay. Usually we'll put the subject first. Anata wa, then we put the time. Ima. Right? Anata wa ima. Don't worry about the sentence structure. When we go on to lesson 9, I will recap all of the sentence structure again. What should be the priority system. So don't worry about the sentence structure for now. So I'll just correct you first. Okay, so subject is always the first thing. Watashi wa, then the time. Ima. So anata wa ima, atama ga itai desu ka? Right? Anata wa ima, atama ga itai desu ka? So between ima and atama, we don't need any grammar particles. Because usually time, especially time without any number, we don't need any particle. Right? We will learn that very soon. In this lesson, we're going to talk about time already. Right? Okay, 5A. No, I don't have.
いいえ、私は頭が痛くないです。
Thank you. いいえ、私は頭が痛くないです。Right? 痛い. The negative is 痛くない. So 痛くないです. I know they say no, I don't have. Then we haven't learned have yet. But if you read the question, the one above, right, is describing whether you have a headache. So no headache. Right? So you just say, oh, the head is not pain. Right? So 頭が痛くないです. Okay. Number 6. I like the Japanese language because it is very interesting.
私は日本語がとても面白いです。
Okay, you're missing the because.
Okay.
Okay, one more time. How come my textbook keep flying up and down?
Sure, what is it because?
Kara. You forgot to use kara. Okay, I want to write. Wait. I want to write. My textbook keep going all over the place. Okay. So, 私は日本語が Wait ah. Okay, sorry, wait ah, 私は日本語が面白い。very interesting. そうか、とても面白いから好きです。Okay,好きです。So this is the answer lah. So the because is over here. Kara. Can see? So 私は日本語がとても面白い。Right? Imagine you don't have this back part. So about me, Japanese very interesting. Right? But because you want to say I like, so the like has to be behind. Right? And because it is interesting, 面白いから you like. So the sentence structure in this case, about me, Japanese language very interesting, that's why I like. Right? Think of it as this way. The sentence structure. You correct?
Yeah, I mean, I left the because
Yeah, the color is missing.
Yes, but put 10 minutes to do this one question.
It's tough. I agree that it's tough. This is tough. How about 词语词汇? Okay?
I Google Translate. They give me like no day.
They give you, so that one is a higher level grammar already. Yeah, no that is another version of kara. Yeah. So sometimes you need to say like, because of this, that's why got this, hence like that. Right? So that's why we need a kara, no that. So the whole sentence will have a lot of like, that's why.
I just go like the English like this, like I like, then you put the because. It's interesting.
So you want to say, I like Japanese, that's why it is interesting. Okay, so the thing is, right, you think of
kara. It's
kara.
not because kara is that's why.
Yeah, it's more of a that's why.
Yeah, because.
Don't have leh. Okay, so the yeah, it's more of a that's why. Like if you want to say in English, literally translate, right, it's the that's why. Yeah. The best translation for it is not a that's why, it's because. Right? So about me, Japanese language, very interesting, that's why I like. Right? But the I cannot be at the back, it has to be at the front. We cannot have a 面白いから私は好きです。So the 私は has to be the subject sentence. So the subject is always at the start of the sentence. So in this case, this sentence structure is a little bit more complex, honestly. I agree. It's harder to 10 minutes. At least took 10 minutes. I agree. It's tough. Right? Because it doesn't sound very intuitive to you.
Yeah,
also.
I said it, I tried it in English, I tried it in Chinese, and I was like, no, this is not
Yeah, you can't translate that way. Yeah, it's not very intuitive.
Yeah.
Right? But if you follow the grammar rules, right? I told you the adjective is always at the back. Adjective is at the back. So imagine we don't have this part. We just say that Japanese is very interesting. Right? Very interesting. This is my last part. My last part was the sentence, the adjective. The front part, the subject. And then the object. Right? The subject, object, very interesting. Then we put our reason. Kara. Then what about the kara? Skides. Right? This is like, you can think of it as a second sentence, but we don't need to repeat this part, copy here and paste here again. We don't need, because we already mentioned the start. Right? So we don't need to copy the watashi wa nihongo ga and put it just in front of ski. Don't need. Because we already mentioned at the start, so we don't need. By right, you should think of it as two separate sentences. Right? Japanese is very interesting. I like Japanese. Two separate sentences. Then you combine to one.
So if you use it in separate sentences, then like, what do you put? Like, sushi plate?
No, but if you put it in separate sentences, it's just stating two facts. You're not linking them together.
Okay.
So we want to link them together, we put the kara. To say that this, because of this, then like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Right? But of course, we cannot do the other way around. Like, I like Japanese, that's why it's interesting. Doesn't make sense, right? I like Japanese because it is interesting,
Okay, yeah.
right? So, you have to take note of the order. Yeah. We cannot say like, yeah, I like apple because that's why apple is sweet. Apple is not sweet because you like it. Right? So, yeah lah. Okay?
Is it also possible to say Nihongo ga suki kara totemo omoshiroi?
Yeah, this is what I say already.
Cannot.
Yeah. In this case, right, it becomes because you like Japanese, that's why it's interesting. Is it a relationship? Is there a relationship? Is it Japanese only interesting because you like it? No. It is interesting in the first place, that's why you like it. So which one came first? Yeah. You need to know which one came first.
Yeah, but it's just not there. It's sorry.
That one. Oh.
Okay, thank you so much.
So you need to know which one comes first. The interesting part comes first or the like comes first. Right? Sometimes it can be you like something, that's why this thing is like that. But it depends on your order. Okay? Oh, it finished already so fast.
Yeah.
Lesson 5 like that.
Yeah.
Okay, wow. Today we end early. No lah, I will cover for next week. Next week the session is not me. I will cover for next week. I will cover for next week. Okay, come bear with me. Lesson 6. Let's go back to the textbook. Well, lesson 6 is very long, sir. Wow. Okay. Repeat after me. Hiruyasumi. Hiruyasumi. ちょうど午前午後起きます寝ます食べます飲みます勉強します働きます休みます So all these are verbs. You see the end with a mas. All this is a verb already. Okay, verbs are things that we do, action that we do lah. So we will learn how to use them in this lesson. Okay, we carry on. 最近後で Right, so if you see the Chinese translation, right, the Chinese character, the kanji, 最近 and 後で is like 等一下, is like later, right? So these are used for to reference lah. Just now we learned 一码 which is now. So we will learn later and recently. Okay? Next, continue we have 一字 ni からまで Okay, so we go on to the next page. I have gone through the time with you guys already, right? The hours and the minutes, as well as the calendar, the days and the months, right? As well as this week, next week. Don't want to yet. Right, I haven't talked about this week, next week, right? Okay, we will start on that first. Let's go back to all the way to the back, the appendix at the back. We will need that for today. So let's talk about the next week, this week, next year, last year. I believe it's all the way at the back. 19. Okay, page E, appendix E, useful time expressions 1. Okay, so right here we have the things that we use to reference the day before, the day after, today, tomorrow, next year, next week, right? We need to mention all these also. So let me go through one by one. Just repeat after me. おととい、昨日、今日、明日、あさって、毎日。Right? So おととい day before, 昨日 yesterday, 今日 is today, 明日 tomorrow, あさって the day after, and then 毎日 is just every day. Right? So you look at the characters, the Chinese character, the kanji characters, right? That one very obvious. If you read it in the text, you also know what it means lah. Okay? Just that the reading is a bit difficult to capture. You have to memorize lah. Okay, moving on to the next one. If you want to say morning, very easy, right? No asa. Right? So for example, the day before, morning, おとといの朝. Right? Literally, like the day before's morning. Or the morning of the day before. Right? 前天的早上. Same as Chinese lah. Right? So, very simple. Next we have 昨日の朝. 昨日の朝. Okay? Next we have 今朝. 今朝. Right? 今朝 is very weird. We don't really say 今日の朝. Right? It sounds too long. Usually we like to say like, hey, this morning. Right? Like 今早. Right? Usually in Chinese we don't say 今天的早上. Right? 今早. Right? Usually we will try to cut it short. So Japanese, they will cut it short as well. We will just say 今朝. Right? 今朝 is very short and easy. Next we have 明日の朝. 明日の朝. 明後日の朝. 明後日の朝. Right? So same as Chinese, we say 明天早上, right? We don't say 明早, right? 明早 sounds so weird. Sounds like some dim sum dish, right? So Japanese say we don't have a shortcut for the day after tomorrow's morning. So we have to say the full name. Okay, next lastly we have 毎朝. 毎朝. So it just simply means like every morning. Very simple, every morning. So the 毎 just simply like 每. Think of it as 每早. Right? 每. So 毎朝. Next we have おとといの昼. おとといの昼. 昨日の昼. 昨日の昼. 今日の昼. 今日の昼. Right? Today's afternoon or this noon. Right? In Chinese we say 今天的下午. Right? Do we have a shortcut for that? 今午. No, right? So same lah. Japanese we got no shortcut. So we have to say the full thing. Right? So 今日の昼. Next we have 明日の昼. 明日の昼. 明後日の昼. 明後日の昼. Very good, right? So these are, we just need to just keep repeating the today, tomorrow, and then know something. Right, next we have the night. おとといの晩. おとといの晩. 昨日の晩. 昨日の晩. Okay, so in Chinese we have 昨晚, right? Yeah, so we also have a shortcut in Japanese also, right? Usually we will say, you want you can copy lah. So we will say saku ban or sakuya. Sakuya is very easy to say sakuya. So sakuya, I show you the writing sakuya. 昨夜 or sakuban. Sakuban. 昨晚. Right? We also have shortcut in Japanese. Just that if I teach you this saku, it's like still need to memorize one extra one.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want, just remember kino no ban is fine also lah. If you don't want to remember sakuban, it's also fine. For me, I lazy to say, so I will just like sakuban, sakuya, like last night. And I use it quite often because every night we drink. Japanese people like to drink. So I'll go for drinking party with Japanese people. Then next morning, thank you for last night. Alright, so sakuban or sakuya, whichever one you prefer. Okay, next we have konban. Konban. Right, so it's 今晚, right? Next, 明日の晩. 明日の晩. Right, so tomorrow night.
So do you have a main one?
Do we say 明晚 in Chinese? We don't say, right? Not very commonly we say, right? We say 明天晚上. Right, we don't really say 明晚.
I say 明晚.
Is it?
Yeah.
明晚. Okay. Have is have. 明日夜. 明日夜. 明日夜 is a shorter one I can give you. But I think it's just extra things for you to learn lah. So instead of 明日の晩, you can consider 明日夜. 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 Right? So this is the shortest one I can give you, tomorrow night. 明日夜. You realize that the yoru, the night, the night part of these words changes. Right? So just now I said yesterday night, sakuban or sakuya, both means night. Then now yoru also means night. Yeah, that's the very unique thing. Right? I told you before, one Japanese word, right, can have many meanings. So for example, yoru. Yoru. This is yori. Yoru. So can you see that this guy can be read as yoru, ya. So it has many readings. So, but it cannot be read as ban, it's different. So you can see that this is very common in Japanese words. They have many readings. So this yoru and this ya is a repetition of that particular word. That yeah. So it's just pronounced differently. So sakuban, 明日夜. Right, next we have 明後日の晩. Okay, this one I don't have a shortcut. I mean Chinese we don't even say 明後日, we just say like 两天后. Right, 后天晚上. We don't say 后晚, right? Right, then next we have 毎晩. Right, 每晚, 毎晩, very simple. Okay, next we have the weeks. 先々週. 先々週. Right, so sen is just like 前, right? Think of it as 前. So 前周, like last week. Literally in English, last week. But Chinese we have what? 前周, right? Then after that, 上一周. 上一周 and 前一周, 对, 前周. So last week is 前周. 上一周 is the previous week. Right? So it's a little bit different from Chinese and English in this case. But in this case, Japanese is easier to learn. 先々週, right? It's 2 weeks ago. 先週, then you can say up to 9 weeks ago. Just kidding. We don't go more than 2 lah. Okay, so 先々週, easy to remember. Then next we have 今週. Alright, so this week 今周 lah. Okay, this week 今週. Next week 来週. Right, so 来週 is like 来周. That means the coming week. Right? Think of it as coming week. Then we have 再来週. Right, so this is the coming week. Right? The 2 weeks later lah. In English we will just say 2 weeks later. In Chinese we say 后周. Yeah. we will just say 后桌. But there's no 后桌 in Japanese lah. Okay, we just say 再来桌. That means the week is going to come again. Okay, then we also have every week, so we say 毎週. 毎週. Okay, don't read it opposite and say 週毎. Next, we have the month. 先々月. 先々月. Easy to remember, right? 先々, 前前, right? Previous. Two months before lah, basically. Previous month. Right? However, please take note that here is 月, G-E-T-S-U, not 月. Right? Remember the calendar month we talked about previous week, right? They go by the 月, right? See? 1月、2月、1月、2月, right? January, February is 1月、2月. Right? However, when we talking about weeks, we want to say like last month, right? We don't say 月, we say 月. The reading changes again.
Why is it like this?
You ask the creator. You ask me, I also cannot answer you. I can reply to you after I meet the creator. So, you can see this dictionary app, tsuki, right? 月, 月. So there's multiple reading of this particular word, 月. So you can see it means like a moon, a month, a moonlight, and the moon natural circle. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. Okay, so basically they have many meanings and many ways to read it. Right?
If you say gatsu, then it's wrong. If you say like the sensei gatsu.
It's often wrong lah. I would say it's wrong lah. So I recommend you to I recommend you to just memorize this getsu. Then look at the last guy. 毎月. Right? It's not 毎月 anymore. Becomes 毎月. Then the reading is the same. Also 月. So it becomes 月. Yeah. So this one have to memorize. If in case you say 毎月, the Japanese people can understand what you're trying to say, but it's wrong. Right? If you say like 毎月, Japanese people know what you're trying to say, but it's wrong.
It's okay lah, I won't use it.
Yeah lah. So instead of saying every month, then you just say every 30 days. Alternative way. Right. Okay, so 毎月. 再来月. 来月. 今月. 先月. Okay, so this is for the month. Next we have the year. We have a おととし. 去年. 今年. Okay, I want to point out that this, today is what? Today is Q, right? Today, Q. Then you see the year one. 去年. Nen is year lah, 年 mah. 年. So 去年 is not this year. So people usually have this understanding that Q is today mah. So today, this year must be 去年 lah. However, 去年 is actually last year.
But why?
I don't know. You ask the guy. I also very confused with this also when I started learning Japanese. Alright, I keep confusing that this year is 去年. Alright, but actually this year is 今年. Right, so have to tell your mind, hey, 去年 is not this year, is last
I
year.
don't want to say Kyotoshi, I just want to say 2026. How would I say that? Just
Okay, this one we will talk about it later.
okay.
It's part of the lesson today. Okay? For now we just learn this. Okay, next we also have 来年. 再来年. 毎年. But usually, look at the number 2 below. Usually we will use toshi. So we will say, instead of nen, we will just say 毎年. That is the more correct one actually. I never heard of Japanese people say 毎年 to me. They will just tell me 毎年. Right? So just cancel it, or if you want to write, I don't know. Toshi is the one that is modernly used, very, very used. Nobody says 毎年. I never heard of anybody say 毎年. Right? So 毎年 is the best. to mean every year. Then again, you ask me, hey, how come the nen, then I need to remember koshi? Like, how come got 2 ways to say year? I don't know, like, ask the guy. No, there's just, he just like to like, oh, I feel like putting a nen here, okay, I put nen. I feel like putting toshi here, I put toshi. So there's no like rule, I don't know what he's doing also lah. Yeah. There's no standardization. Right? Okay, so this is for the months. Let's go back to our lesson 6 grammar. Before that, you guys want to take a break? Anyone needs the toilet? No need? Okay, then we talk about lesson 6. Okay. Number 1. 今、午前1時15分です。Right? So 1時, you remember 1 o'clock. 15分, 15 minutes. So 1 o'clock 15 minutes is 1:15. So how do we tell whether it's AM or PM? We put this particular word in front called 午前. Right? 午前 means 午前. That means like before noon. Right? So it literally means before noon, which means AM lah. Then after noon, yeah, then it's called 午后, right? So 午后 we call it 午後, right? 午後. So GOGO is afternoon, right? So usually in English we put the AM PM after the time, right? In Japanese and Chinese we will put the AM PM before we say the time, right? So if it's like, for example, the time now is 3:44, we will just say 午后3:44分, right? So it's the same as Chinese, how we tell time in Japanese. Okay, next we have examples 1. 今 right now 今午後4時10分です right? So remember how to count 4 o'clock we don't say 4時 but 4時 right? It's a special sound, special reading, so 4時 instead of 4時 okay? Of course we don't say 4時 4時 will become death hour, so we don't want to say something 不吉利 something inauspicious, so please don't say 4時. It's okay to say 4時 but please don't say 4時. But of course the correct one should be 4時. Yeah, because 4 means 4 but it also means death, right? In Chinese also, right? 死 so we don't want to make the accidental like, oh, now it's 4時, then people like, oh, now dying with the hour. Okay, so please be aware that it's not a very auspicious thing to say. And then 10分, right? It's a double consonant sound, right? 10 分, right? So recall your minutes also. Okay, so 4時10分です. Number 2. 今ちょうど, right? ちょうど means just nice, right? On the dot, just nice, exact, right? 今ちょうど9時です. So we don't say 9時, right? 9時. So take note of the hours difference also.
But this just nice never say it's AM or PM.
Yeah, so about this we just barely just say, oh, now it's 9 o'clock. Never say AM or PM.
So I just need to see outside for sun or sun.
Yeah. So but usually when you don't, if you omit out the AM PM, likely the listener also know what time is it lah. Right? Unless it's a schedule like, hey, I want to see you tonight 9 PM. Then you know it's night already. Right? So instead of saying AM or PM, you can also say 今ちょうど夜9時です. Yoru means night. Ban also means night. But yoru is a more appropriate for sentence use. Right? So if you want to say now is night 9 PM, so you can say ちょうど夜9時です. Right? That means it's night 9 PM. So not necessarily we need to use AM or PM. You see, I can tell you tomorrow night 9 PM. Tomorrow night 9 o'clock. You also know it's 9 PM. Tomorrow morning 6 o'clock. You also know it's 6 AM. Right? So not necessarily we need to put the AM or PM as long as you have the time reference they're talking about. But of course you can omit it lah. If the person and you and the person talking, you all know it's going to be in the morning or at night, then you don't need to talk about AM or PM. Right? How like in Chinese we also say what? 现在3点. Do we like know is AM or PM? We know already ma. When we ask about the time, we can see that the sun is up there, so it must be PM. Okay? So same as Chinese. Okay, so new question word. So in Chinese we say 几点, right? So same thing. In Japanese we ask for 何時, right? So 何 is what? ji is o'clock. So what o'clock? Right? So 几点 21点 蛮台. Okay, next we have the minutes. 何分. Right? Please take note it's PUN and not FUN. So it's not 何分. It's 何分. PUN. For the minutes. If you want to ask about the minutes. So okay, so you can see the minutes is being bracketed. Right? Of course in Chinese we don't say 现在几点几分. Right? You don't go up to a stranger and ask for the minutes also, right? You can just ask them 现在几点. Right? Then number 4. 日本は今何時ですか? Right? 今 means now, right? So Japan, right? I told you the subject is always at the start. So 日本は then we put the 今. 今何時ですか? So now Japan is what time? Right? Japan now what time? Right? What o'clock? So the reply 午前11時15分です. Right? 11:15 a.m. This. Okay, next we have number 2. 今日は金曜日です. Right? 金曜日 is Friday. We learn about that as well. Right? So we learn the Monday to Sunday. Right? We have the 月、火、水、木、金、土、日. Right? Please memorize those as well. So 金曜日 is Friday. 明日は土曜日です. So 明日 is tomorrow. So tomorrow is Saturday です. 明後日 is day after. Day after is Sunday です. Straightforward. New question word. 何曜日. Alright, literally we just keep the 曜日 and then we ask the what 曜日. Okay? It's like how we say 星期几. Right? We just omit out the last 星期一, we throw away the 一 and put in the question then. 几. Okay, so 何曜日ですか? Any questions so far? No, I'll move on to the next page. Number 3. 今日は11月18日です. So the way of reporting dates is exactly the same as Chinese, right? Like for example, National Day, we say 8月9日, right? We say the month first, then we say the day. So it's like August 9. But usually in English, we will say 9 August. So we need to reverse the order in Japanese to say the month first. So August 9. So we will say, in the question here, the statement here, 11月18日. So 11 month, 18 day. Right? So the 11th month and the 18th day. Right? So you can see today is the 18th of November. So the month will come first when we report the year, the date. Of course, the year will come even before the month if we're talking about a year also. So it's like year, month, day in Japan. USA also, I think they also use the month, year, month, day. They follow Japan also. Just like Singapore, we follow the British. British they use day, month, year. Yeah. So when they send email over some of the dates, need to confirm with them. 4th March. Is it 4th March or 3rd April? Right, we need to confirm the date. Because different countries use different conventions. Okay, next example 1. 明日は5月3日です. So 5月 is May. 3日 is 3rd day. So 3rd day of May. 3rd day of May. Number 2. あさっては4月2日です. Right? So remember, fourth month, we don't say 4月 or 4月. We use 4月. Right? It's a special using the second reading. So 4月, right? 2日. So 4th month, day, second day. Right? So which is 2nd April. Okay, so April the 2nd. April the 2nd. So I mean we cannot use just now I say the timing, the hours we cannot use 시지. But however the month we can use 4月. Right, death month. I don't know. But not that if you talk about death month, it's not auspicious lah. People will not care. Right? Unless you like death day, then that will be more auspicious. We shouldn't say such things. Okay, next the new question word. So we want to ask what month, what day, right? 几月几日. So literally same as Chinese lah. The question is just 几. So in Japanese 几 is like what. So what is 何? 何月何日ですか? Then the answer 7月, right? 7月 7 is not 7 7 is 7. 7月14日です. Right? 7月14日です. Right? 14日 simply is 14 day. In case you're thinking that it is 14日, sorry, it's not 14日. 14日 is a special date in the calendar month. So remember the calendar month, the special reading is 1 to 10, 14, 20, 24. Right? All these are the special sounds that you need to memorize them. Okay, moving on, we have number 4. あさっては何月何日ですか? Then the answer says 6月10日です. Right? 6月 is June. 10日 is 10th. So June the 10th. June the 10th. Number 5. あなたの誕生日はいつですか? So いつ in English we say when. Right? When. In Chinese we say 几时. Right? So it's a when lah. Okay? We don't use it to ask for time. We use it to ask for a event schedule. Ask for a date. Okay? So you cannot go up to someone and ask like 今いつですか? Now is when. Then they'll be like, huh? Now is when? Right? So if you're asking for the time now, please don't say いつ. いつ is like when. Okay? Okay, so あなたの誕生日. So your birthday is an event, right? So we want to ask about the date of that event. いつですか? Okay, so you can see the は particle there, right? The は particle. So before that is our subject. After that is our question, right? いつですか? So about this event, when is it? So the reply, 1月2日です. Right? So January the 2nd. Right? So first month, second day. Number 6. お父さんのお誕生日はいつですか? Right? So when is your father's birthday? 8月9日です. Right? So 8 month, 9 day. Which is August 9. So National Day. So far, okay? Moving on to number 4, the years. Yes, back to Elise question, how to say the years. 今年は2000年です. Right? So 年 is 年, is the year, right? So in Chinese we just say, 今年是2000年. So we in Japanese same thing, we just say the number 2000. 2000 is 2000, so the year 2000. Right? So this year is year 2000. 2000年です. Right? Same as Chinese. So again, just now I said if you want to put the year in your statement, is year, month, day. Right? So 2000年. Okay, let's talk about today. Today is March 8th. So year 2026. So 2026年. Right? 2000 is 2000. 26 is 26. 26年. Then March is 3月. Then today is the 8th. 8日. Right? 8日 means 8th. So this is how we say the time lah. So 2026年3月8日です. Right? So year 2026, March the 8th. Right? So year,
So it
month.
must be 2026. It can be 2026 lah. 今年是2026年，不是2026年。
No, it sounds very weird in Japanese. 2026年. It sounds like some arbitrary number. It sounds too weird. No, please use the full, the full. Yeah, 2026年. Yeah, very weird to say that in Japanese. Okay. Okay, moving on, we have example 1. 来年は2001年です。Right? 2001 year. 去年は1999年です。Right? 1999. 1999. You all remember how to count? Just revise, Remember how to put the numbers, I told you guys to at least study until 6 digits. Because when you travel, you don't need to use more than 6 digits. Okay, new question word number 3. 来年は何年ですか? Right, so next year is what year ですか? Right, literally just 何年, what year? Right, 明年是几年?
I think we know how old this textbook is.
Yeah, I think it's year 2000. Likely it's made in the year 2000. About same age as me, I think. Okay, so 来年は何年ですか? 2002年です。再来年は何年ですか? 再来年 means the year after, so 2003年です。Right? 2003年です。Right? So it's the year 2003. Okay? So far so good. So we need a break. Don't need, we continue. Number 5. Okay, now finally we get to use the time with a verb. So a verb, we do some actions at a specific time. For example, we wake up at 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock. So we want to explain how we use this, how to say this verb that's done at a certain timing, right? So you can see this particle need, right? So need is like our at, right? So I wake up at 6 o'clock. Wake up at 6 o'clock, right? In English, the verb comes first. Verb, at, then the time. In Japanese, it's the kind of the opposite, right? I told you already, the verb is always at the end. Verb is always at the end. So it's the time, need, then our verb. Right? So okimasu is our verb. Rokuji is our time. So when we have a time that has a number in it, like rokuji, right? There is a number, 6 o'clock. There is a number. Then we can use this ni. Right? So this ni is like our at. So at 6 o'clock. Right? It's to specify a specific timing. We can also use it with month. Right? For example, 3月に. So 3月に, of course, it's not at March lah. In English, at March sounds weird, right? So English, how do we say? In March. Correct? So that ni becomes a in meaning. So in March. Basically, it tries to say that within this time period. Or at this time period. Right? So at September, like during September, during 6 o'clock, at 6 o'clock. Right? At this specific time, this action will happen. So the example sentence here will be 私は毎朝 So me, every morning 6時に起きます So 毎朝 every morning 6時に So at 6 o'clock, what I do? 起きます Right? So literally the translation will be me, every morning 6 o'clock, wake up. Right?
No,
So this
me every morning 6 o'clock at wake up.
Yeah, okay, fine. That is true. Okay, so yeah, the sentence structure you just need to memorize this how it sounds like in Japanese lah. Okay, about me every morning 6 o'clock at wake up. Sounds correct though if you use the at mark, the email at mark. Wake up at 6 o'clock at wake up. Okay. So this verb okimasu, right? We call it the mas form. It is the polite form that we should use when speaking to other people. Okay? So mas, we always try to end our sentence with des or mas. So we call this the desmas. Desmas is the polite way to reply to somebody. Right? It's not the most honorific way to reply to somebody, but it is polite enough that people will not be offended. Okay? So mas simply means I will. Right? So if okimasu, I will wake up. So you're just trying to say like I will wake up, then I will do this action. Right? So to put it simply, it is basically just like to wake up. Okay? To wake up. It means like it's a commitment that you do this action. Okay? So it translates to like to wake up. So let's look at the example number 1. 田中さんは 午後11時に寝ます。So about Tanaka-san, afternoon 11 o'clock at 寝ます。寝ます is sleep, or rather it means to sleep. So that means he's going to sleep. He will sleep at 11 o'clock. Right? He will sleep at 11 o'clock. Okay? 11時に寝ます。Number 2、彼は明日5時に起きます。So wake up at 5 o'clock. So you just read the sentence from the reverse direction. Right? In English, you just read it in reverse. Wake up at 5 o'clock. Tomorrow him. You just read it in the opposite direction. Okay? New question word. Over here, of course, we want to ask for the timing. So timing was nanji. Right? So when we have a verb, we need to have the ni particle to connect the time with the verb. So we will put the ni in front of our question, which is nanji. So, 毎朝何時に起きますか? So 何時に起きますか? Right?
When you ask for the time, like the in front example, you say what time is it now? You don't put nanji ni, the ima nanji desu ka.
Yeah lah, we just say 今何時ですか if you're asking for time.
Unless you want to ask for the number. Because
Oh,
here, right?
okay. So 何時に ni is when we use ni when there's a verb. But when we say 何時ですか is not a verb. ですか is negligible, remember? It doesn't exist. It's just a way to end a sentence politely. And ka is just the question mark. It's the equivalent of a question mark. So that's why we don't need to like 何時にですか because there's no verb, right? So this is just a polite way to end a sentence. It doesn't mean anything. Ka is just a question mark, right? So we don't need a ni in this case. However, if you have a verb like okimasu, nemasu, then we will need the ni. Okay, next we have question 4. 毎晩何時に寝ますか? So every night, at what time sleep? Right? Every night at what time sleep? 11時に寝ます. So sleep at 11 o'clock. Okay? Of course, we have the orders of words in a sentence here. You can take reference with it. Right? You can see that there is two different time expression. One is time expression without number. The other one is exact time ni. So the exact time, just think of it as a time expression with a number. So what I mean by time expression without number is things like tomorrow, today, next year, right? Now, tomorrow, later, right? All these are without number. There's no number. All this, right? We don't need to put any particle behind it. However, if we have an exact time, like the number, like the 9th month of like September, October, 3rd week, yeah, then we will require a ni particle. Right? Like for example, the ni is just to serve as a like in English it's like at, during, within, in. Right? So it's just a equivalent in English where we use it to say like within the month, during the month. So far okay? Not going too fast, huh? Number 6. Okay, so now we learn two new grammar particles. It is called kara and made. Previously we learned kara as that's why. Right now, let me tell you, kara has another meaning. We recycle the word, but we give it another meaning, right? So kara in this case shows the start of something, right? You can think of it as from until, right? 从 something something 到 something something, right? So it's like a from something to something. So let me just say this sentence. 私は毎日 right? About me every day 午前8時45分から So from 8:45 a.m. So from 8:45 a.m. right? から from 午後5時まで働きます So 5時まで, right, until 5 p.m. Right, 5時まで until 5 p.m. So まで is just until, から is just starting from, right, from. So 働きます is my verb. So what is that? That is to work, right, or will work. So we don't need a need before it because we already have the time that we are stating, the time frame that we are stating, which is from 8:45 to 5 p.m. So we already got the time frame, so we don't need any like during or at or in, right? Because the kara made already tells us that it is from this hour to this hour or until this hour. Okay? So just very simply think of kara and made as like from and until. So from 3 to 9, from 6 until 7.
And you must put it after, right?
You put it after.
Article,
So,
right? Like
yes.
No, and whatever.
Yes, we put it after, right? So the unique thing about this, okay, Japanese and Chinese and English is before the time. Japanese is after the time. Okay, so you just have to memorize that. Chinese is we use it before, right? 从8点到10点, like from 8 o'clock until 10 o'clock. But in Japanese it's opposite. It's like 8 o'clock from 10 o'clock until. So think of it as the opposite way. Correct. You're right. Okay, so we can use it to mean the start of a time. We can also use it to mean the start of a location. Right? For example, Tampines kara Bencoolen made. Right? So from a certain place until a certain place. We can also use it for physical locations. We can also use it for time. As long as you just want to say there is a start and an end. Right? So we can use it for location as well. Okay, examples. 1. 私は午後2時から勉強します。So, about me, right? 私は about me. 午後 afternoon 2時から. So, 午後 is PM. So, 2 p.m. から means from 2 p.m. So, about me from 2 p.m. What do I do? 勉強します. Right? So, study. So, me 2 p.m. study. Me from 2 p.m. study. That means you start studying from 2 p.m. Okay? So that means I study from 2 p.m. Very simply. I study from 2 p.m. Next, number 2. 私は午後6時まで勉強します. So until 6 p.m. study. Right? I study until 6 p.m. Until 6 p.m. study. Right, see, we don't need to use both at the same time. We can use either one if you just want to say, I start from 3, I end at 6, right? We don't want to, if you want to separate them, it's fine also. You don't have to die use from and until in the same sentence. Right? Number 3. あなたは朝9時から11時まで勉強します。So 9時から, right? From 9 o'clock 11時まで until 11 o'clock 勉強します. So I study from 10 to 11 in the morning. Right? So we're just giving a time frame that we study. We don't need a need particle here because the kara and made is already the particle already. It already tells us the time duration and the time period already. So we don't need the need particle in this case. Right? Number 4. 彼は月曜日から金曜日まで働きます. So he works from Monday until Friday. Right? So からまで from Monday until Friday he works. Okay? Moving on to the next page, we have our new question word. So very easy, right? Kara, we just need to use it with a time. So time, how to ask for time? Nanji. Right? So we just recycle the nanji. So 何時から何時までですか? Right? So from what time to what time ですか? Right? Same thing for the week or the day of the month, day of the week. 何曜日から何曜日まで. Right? If you want to ask for the month, 何月から何月まで, for example. Right? From what month to what month. Right? From what year to what year? 何年から何年まで right? From what year to what year? So we just need to ask the month or the year question that we already learned just now when we went through the list. But how to say what year, what month? Like what? Very easy. I just change the thing to nan. Nan nen, nan gatsu. Right? Nanji, nanpun. What day is a little bit more complicated? Oh, sorry, it's not complicated. It's nanji. Nichi is day. So what day? Right, you just go back to the calendar page, the appendix on calendar. There will be a nan nichi somewhere. Right? Nan gatsu, nan nichi, nan yobi. Right? All the question word is at the back for timing for the month. Okay, just refer to those when you form your question. Okay, so far so good. We move downwards to number 7. I'll move down the textbook lesson 6, move down to number 7. Okay, so number 7, we learn how to say will not do something or didn't do something. Right? So we learn how to say the negative form of the verb. So must is will do. What about will not do? Right? We just need to change from must to become mustn't. Right? So the must becomes mustn't, it becomes negative. So benkyou shimasu means I will study. Benkyou shimasen, I will not study. Right? It means you're not going to do, you're not going to study lah. To not study. Okay, very easy, right? Just change the must to mustn't. Just change must to mustn't, it becomes negative. So example, Tanaka-san wa asatte hatarakimasen. So asatte is day after. So about him, day after does not work. Okay, so he does not work the day after. Number 2, Kimura-san wa maiban 10時に寝ません. So 毎晩 every night 10時に at 10 p.m. 寝ません do not sleep. So that means he do not sleep at 10 p.m. every night. Okay? Question, right? 明日働きますか? Right, when we put a ka behind, it immediately becomes a question, right? So, 働きます means will work. 働きますか will work becomes a question. Are you going to work? Will you work? Right, it immediately becomes a question. Right, so your answer can be, はい、働きます I will work. いいえ、働きません No, will not work. Straightforward, huh? Let's put a car bigger question already. Okay, next we have number 4. あさって勉強しますか? Right? The next day, do you study? はい、勉強します。Right? いいえ、勉強しません。Right? 勉強します、勉強しません。So that means will study, will not study. Yeah, so just to reject something, just say ません。Something, something ません。Okay, number 5. 後で休みますか? 後で休みますか? So 後で simply means 等一下. Right? It means like later on. Right? Later on, resting. Will you rest? Later on, will you rest? Right? 後で休みますか? Right? Do you rest later? はい、休みます。いいえ、休みません. Right? Yes, I will rest. No, I will not rest. Okay, straightforward. Yes, I will rest. No, I will not rest. Okay, number 8. Next part. So far, so good. Any questions? No. Number 8. So when we have a must and a mustn't, will and will not, then we will have a would and would not. Correct? We will have our past tense, right? So in this case, our past tense for must, right? Must becomes mashita. Right? To say past tense. So I will do becomes I would do. Right? Becomes a past tense. So I study, I studied. So it becomes a past tense. Right? So the sample sentence here, 私は昨日勉強しました. So yesterday, 昨日 yesterday, studied. Right? That means we would have studied or studied. So 勉強しました. I studied. Past tense. Okay? Chinese is the one. Chinese is very unique. Chinese there's no like past tense. Right? 我读了. You add the 了 becomes past tense already. Right? So Chinese is very unique. English there is past tense. Japanese there's also past tense. Chinese there is no past tense. That's why Chinese can be quite easy to learn lah. It's just that the 汉语拼音 very hard to master it, and the 汉字 too many already. Right? Otherwise, I think Chinese is quite a nice language. No past tense. The grammar form of Chinese is also very, very little also. It really depends on the context of the sentence to understand. Okay? Next, we have example 1. 彼女は昨日6時まで働きました。So 昨日 means yesterday. 6時まで means until 6. So yesterday until 6働きました worked. So yesterday until 6 worked. Okay? So you reverse the order, becomes English. Work until 6 yesterday. Yeah, becomes English language. Okay, so Japanese sentence structure is opposite direction. Number 2. 私は今朝7時に起きました。So 今朝 this morning 7時に起きました。So woke up at 7. So 起きました woke up. Right? 7時に so at 7. So woke up at 7 今朝 this morning. So woke up at 7 this morning. Next, number 3. 今朝何時に起きましたか? So to this morning, at what time? Woke up. Right? Woke up at what time this morning? Just reverse the sentence structure, becomes English already. Okay? Of course, English and Japanese, the subject is always the start of the sentence, so the one no change. Just that the behind part is like reverse of English. Okay? Next we have number 4. 昨日の晩何時に寝ましたか? So 昨日の晩何時に寝ましたか? So yesterday night, what time slept? Right? 11時半に寝ました. 11:30 slept. So slept at 11:30. Okay, number 5. 昨日何時から何時まで勉強しましたか? So yesterday, from what time until what time study? Right? So that means study what time to what time yesterday. Just read it with reverse. Then you get it already. Okay, so number 6. 先週何曜日? Right? 先週 means last week. So last week, what day? Last week, what day? From. What day until? 働きました. Worked. So you read in reverse. Worked. What day until what day last week? Okay, so the answer is 月曜日から金曜日まで働きました. So worked Monday to Friday. Okay, can we move on? Okay, so now we have our negative plus past tense. Negative plus past tense, right? Very easy, don't worry. So shimasu, right? I always told you we end the sentence with shimasu, right? So when we end the sentence with shimasu, the negative is shimasen. So shimasen is already the end of sentence already. So how do we change shimasen to another form for past tense? No way, right? So we need to introduce something that has no meaning, which is desu. So desu, we don't say shimasen desu, right? Because shimasen is polite. So we only introduce this desu when we need it for past tense. So past tense of desu is deshita. Right? As you can see over here, past tense of desu is deshita. So the purpose here, right? The shimasen is the negative, the deshita is the past tense. So you can see they have a 分工合作 lah. They separate their work. It's like, hey, I'll be the negative, I'll be the bad guy, hey, you'll be the past tense guy. Right? So shimasen deshita. Right? So there's like no special word form and then suddenly something new comes in and say, hey, I'm the past tense and negative. So as you can see, they separate the negative and the past tense. So shimasen is negative, then the past tense is deshita. Right? But usually only either must or desu can exist in a sentence, right? We don't say hatarakimasu desu, right? No, no such thing. Only mas or desu to end a sentence. But however, in the past tense and negative, we got no choice. We need one of them to be the past tense. We need one of them to be the negative. So that's why we have a shimasen deshita. Moving on, we have the example 1. 彼はおととい働きませんでした。So did not work, right? 働きませんでした did not work. So did not work おととい。おととい is the day before. So did not work the day before. Easy to understand? Number 2. 田中さんは今朝5時に起きませんでした。So 起きません means did not wake, right? Did not wake up, did not wake. So you read in reverse, did not wake up at 5 this morning. Right, you read it in reverse. Did not wake up at 5 this morning. Alright, so number 3. 昨日勉強しましたか? So yesterday studied, right? So studied yesterday. Answer 1, はい、勉強しました。Answer 2, いいえ、勉強しませんでした。So 勉強します is the verb, right? She must, the must change to mustn't becomes negative. But we need a past tense also, so we just add in the でした to be the past tense. So しませんでした。So ませんでした is our past tense negative. Okay, number 4. おととい働きましたか? So the day before you worked, 働きました。いいえ、働きませんでした。So did not work. No, did not work. Okay, moving on to the very next page. We are at the end already, 加油. So on the next page is summary. Okay, so you see the table here. They already told you which one is the affirmative version, the positive version. And then they have the which one is the past tense version and which one is the not past tense version. So you just need to understand, oh okay lah, I want the positive will do, would do. Then it's this one, then the past tense will be that one. Right? So for you, easy to refer. Yeah, that's good. If you're wondering, is this the end of all this kind of affirmative, negative conjugation? That means we change the verb. Mas to masen, masen to masen deshita. Sorry, we got even more than this. This is just the start. We were going to change the mas to something even, wow. Yeah, there is something called the te form, something called the ta form, something called the dictionary form. There's a lot of form, right? So this is just one of the form only. Mas, masen, masen deshita. Okay. Number 10. 私の勉強は Okay, let's talk about this. So 勉強します is a verb. 勉強します is a verb. This guy has very special property, right? We call it a group 3 verb. Group number 3 verb. Okay, we will learn about this grouping of these verbs in E2, the next course. But for now, I just let you know that group 3 verbs, right? Their unique feature is they end with shimasu, right? So 勉強します is a group 3 verb. So when we throw away the shimasu means to do, right? We throw away the to do, it just becomes a noun, right? So 勉強 is the study. So instead of the act, okay, so 勉強 by itself means act of study, right? If we add the shimasu, it becomes to do the act of studying, which means to study lah. So when we throw away the to do, that means the action part, it just becomes a noun. So it becomes the study, right? So 私 is noun, right? 勉強 also is a noun. It just means the study. So my study, right? My study. So the entire meaning for 私の勉強 becomes my study. So this study is not the physical verb. It's not a verb, but it's not an action of studying. It's just say your studying. That means like your act of studying. Okay? So instead of saying 读书 it's like 念书. Cannot say 念书 lah. Actually Chinese very weird also. Their noun and verb is like same. But anyway, Japanese is when there's no shimas, it's not a verb. It is just a noun. Okay? So other examples of this group 3 can be like, for example, kekkon shimasu. Kekkon means get married, right? 结婚. So kekkon shimasu, we throw away the shimasu, it just becomes kekkon. Kekkon, it becomes wedding. So instead of saying to be wedded or to be married, right? To be wedded, if you throw away the to do the action, right? It just becomes wedding. It just becomes the noun. Right? So this is a very unique thing of group 3 verbs. Throw away, it just becomes the noun. Okay? For example, give you another example. Sanpo shimasu. Sanpo means sanpu. Sanpo. Sanpo shimasu. Shimasu is to do. So if I don't want to do the stroll, I don't want to do the okay, sanpo means sanpu, so it means you go on a walk, go on a stroll. Right? To stroll, if you don't want to do the action, it becomes the stroll. Right? So we just throw away the shimasu, becomes sanpo. So, right, sanpo itself is the noun. So watashi no sanpo, my stroll. Right? You're talking about your action, the act of strolling. So it becomes a noun. Right? So this is a unique point of group 3. But for now, don't need to memorize. We will look at it again in E2 the next course. Okay, so basically, watashi no benkyou wa. So my study is, right? Watashi no benkyou wa, my study is 午後6時から8時までです。Right? So this square bracket 午後, we don't need to repeat it already because the first part already mentioned 午後. Right? As long as this one never changed to AM, it's still PM, then you don't need to put it. Right? So the second 午後 can be omitted. Alright, so next we have another example. Oh, sorry, look at the second sentence just below it. So the above structure can be used instead of saying the benkyou shimasu. If you want to use it in the verb form, this will be the sentence. But if you don't want to say it in a verb form, you just want to state a statement, then it will be like that. My study is from this to this. Rather than saying, I will be studying from this to this. Right? So instead of using the verb, you can also consider to use the noun. So both sentences is the same. But then again, what I mean by same is in terms of the big meaning of it. The overall meaning is the same. But however, if you want to know the difference, right? My study is from 6 to 8. Maybe this is a report. Like you're just stating a fact, a report. This is 私は午後6時から8時まで勉強します. You are trying to give a commitment. You're trying to tell the person, hey, I'm going to study from this hour to this hour. Right? You're just trying to state your intention. You're not just saying, oh, my study is from this to this. Right? You are committing. You are trying to give a guarantee that I will be studying. Right? You're trying to give a promise that I will be studying. Right? You're trying to justify your action.
So like, just now you use wedding right, as an example.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, if it's the second one, is my wedding is 6 to 8 p.m. But then
Yeah.
this one is like, I wed.
At 6 to 8 p.m. It
Yeah.
sounds correct. It sounds weird, right?
Okay.
So it really depends on the context. Of course, we don't say like I wed from 6 to 8. Sounds very wrong, right? It's like, what do you mean you wed from this? And then after that, you're not married. You're not married, right? So it depends on the context, lah.
Alright.
Okay. So it depends on whether you're just stating a time frame, like my wedding is from this time to this time, or are you trying to say you're wed, you are being wedded from this hour to this hour. Yeah, so it depends on the context. But the difference in meaning is there. However, I will say the meaning for most of the verbs doesn't differ much. For example, the study one. You want to say this form, you want to say this, the below one is the same understanding. But the wedding one is very big difference. Okay? So it really depends on the context. Okay? Next example. 仕事は午前7時から7時半から午後6時15分までです。So work is from 7:30 until 6:15 です。Can you see? 仕事 means work. It's a noun. It's a noun. So I never say I do work. I never say I'll be working. Rather, I use the word work. Work as a noun. Okay. So work as a noun, we can just say 仕事は Right? Our subject in this sentence will be the shigoto, about the job. So regarding the job, about the job, it is from 7 to 5. Right? You're not trying to say like, oh, you will be working from 7 to 5. Or rather, you are just overall saying the work is from 7 to 5. Doesn't mean that you're going to work. So it's more neutral. It doesn't involve a person doing anything. So in this case, the subject is the work rather than the person of interest. Number 2, 彼の昼休みは午後12時から午後1時までです。So his, right? 彼の昼休み。昼休み means afternoon break. So his afternoon break. Right? Same thing. The word 休みます。休みます is a verb. But as I said, there's a shimas, right? So shimas, we remove it, then it becomes a noun. But however, 休みます is not a group 3. It's not a group 3 verb. It's a group 1 verb. I will tell you about this group 1, group 3 again when we go to E2. But for now, just understand that 休みます is a group 1 verb. However, we can still remove the mas and continue to use the 休み. Okay, but however, not all the group 1 can do so. We only use it for a certain group 1s only. So for example, we cannot use it on okimasu. Okimasu means to wake up. We cannot just remove mas and say, watashi no oki. You're awake. Huh? What do you mean by you're awake? Right? So it doesn't make sense in the case. Okay? However, your rest sounds correct, right? Your rest. That one's still okay. So it's only selected words we can remove the mas and then it will become a noun. Such example include yasumi. So 彼の昼休みは午後12時から1時までです。Okay, next number 3. 日本語の勉強は何時から何時までですか? So the study of Japanese is what time to what time ですか? From what time to what time ですか? So the answer, 午前9時55分から So morning AM 9:55, afternoon 12:15 until. So until 12:15 lah. Yes. Any questions so far? Am I confusing any of you? Still okay, right? This one I think it's okay. From until it's not so difficult. Okay, shall we look at the next conversation?
No.
No? Yeah, I'll leave it to next week for him to talk more conversation. For Yutaro Sensei, his conversation will be more than this. Okay, conversation 1. 誕生日. So birthday, 誕生日. Between 2 person. Okay, I'll go first. Limさん、シンガポールの独立記念日はいつですか? So 独立記念日. 独立 means independence. So independence 記念日. 記念日 is 紀念日 means anniversary. So independence anniversary はいつですか? いつ is when, right? So when is Singapore's independence anniversary? Okay, I don't know why we call it National Day, but India calls it Independence Day. So actually National Day is supposed to be Independence Day. So which they are referring to National Day lah, NDP in Singapore lah. Okay, so 独立記念日 is the direct meaning is literally Independence Anniversary. Okay, L says eto. So this eto is just a language filler. It's like saying right, it's a language filler. 8月9日です right, so 8 of the month and then 9 of the day, so which means it's August the 9th. So August the 9th です。 T says 本当ですか? So 本当 simply means really. It just means like 真的 really. So really ですか? Really? So really ですか? Oh, really? So it's just asking like confirmation lah. Okay, 本当ですか? じゃあ So this じゃあ is just I would say it's not really a filler lah, but it's just simply like so. Yeah, it just means like so, right? Really so 私の誕生日と同じですね。So 誕生日 is birthday. So 私の誕生日 is my birthday. So my birthday to onaji. So this to article you all haven't learned yet lah. Okay, for now, just think of it as with. Okay, it's like a with in English. So it's like, so basically onaji is same. It means same. So same with my birthday. Same with my birthday.
I thought it's N.
It is N also. But now just think of it as a with first. It is an N also. I can tell you the particles in Japan, the Japanese language, they reuse it a lot of times. So it has a lot of meanings. One to can mean like over 5 or 6 meanings. So you need to understand in the context. In this context, what is it meant to use it as? So in this context, it's not N, it's with. So same with my birthday. Okay, same with my birthday. Onaji means same. So same with my birthday. Desu ne. L says, so desu ka. So desu ka is like just oh really ah? Or is it? Right? It's like, oh is it? It's just a filler lah. It's just like a reply, a standard reply. Right? It's like, oh I see, that kind of thing. So desu ka. Oh I see. Nihon no Kenkoku Kinenbi. So Kinenbi is anniversary, so Kenkoku, can you guess what is it? Recently we have our pioneer generation, so 建国 lah, it is. Kenkoku is 建国 lah. So okay, the direct translation, okay, not say direct translation, the proper translation for Kenkoku is constitution. Right? Establishing the constitution. Right? That means they are opening, they are setting up their government. So in Japan they call this Constitution Day, which means like the day the constitution is established. So that's why they say Kenkoku Kinenbi. Right? So Kenkoku doesn't mean pioneer. Right? Singapore they translate things not very literally, but so they are asking for Japan's Constitution Day. So Japan's Constitution Day is when? Right? It's when? いつですか? Then 2月11日です。2月11日です。Right? So February 11th. But sad to say they don't have public holiday on this day lah. Japanese people don't even celebrate it. They don't really celebrate this Constitution Day. They're like, oh today is Constitution Day, okay lah, no holiday, continue back to work. But in exchange they got a lot of holiday. They got up to 17 a year. Their emperor birthday is also a holiday. Yeah. Our president birthday no holiday leh. I think maybe we need to ask Taman to make public holiday. Lawrence and Taman birthday lah, then we make it public holiday.
No, then Lee Kuan Yew December.
I think we also need a Founders Day lah. Lee Kuan Yew's birthday should be a holiday lah.
Yeah.
His birthday is the same day as mine lah. Wow, I shiok lah. Don't need go to work. Then plus my office got birthday leave. Wow, shiok lah. Let's take 2 days. No lah, but he's the one, Lee Kuan Yew is the one that says Singapore cannot have more than 11 public holidays. Because if we have more than that, we are seen as inefficient, and then foreign companies don't want to set up operations here. Because we take too many breaks.
The most take like 3 months.
That's why the Europe countries, they are not doing very well. Okay, that one I say one. That one I see the news one. Yeah, they are not doing as good as Southeast Asia, APEC in the sense lah. So there's no work-life balance. It's quite unhealthy. So in a way, I feel that 11 public holidays is really to keep Singapore more competitive than other countries. Malaysia themselves, different states have different number of public holidays also. So I think 11 is a very good number. Of course, it will be better if there's 12 with Thaipusam. They are still debating in Parliament whether we want to make Thaipusam public holiday or not. Up to them. Yeah. Okay lah. So let's go look at the notes for conversation. So A wa B to onaji desu. Right? So A is same with B. Right? So think of the to as a with or as. So same as B, same with B. Right? Onaji means same. When we want to say different, A wa B to chigaimasu. So different as different with or different from B. However, chigaimasu has a few meaning. One of it is different, of course. Another one is wrong. Okay? So and it's a very heavy word to use also. Because Japanese people don't like to hear no, they don't like to hear wrong as a direct way to tell them that they are wrong lah. They like to go around the bush, right? So instead of saying they are wrong, maybe you want to say you are not so right. Yeah, something like that. Okay, so chigaimasu will come to Japanese people as a shock if you use it in their face. Right? So it's quite heavy-handed lah, but you can still use it lah. We are not Japanese person. I don't care about their culture, okay? We will just use it. Okay? But of course it's very heavy lah. Okay, so just take note that chigaimasu has another meaning which is covered at the bottom. They mentioned here at the bottom. Okay, so how it can be used as different, it can be used as wrong. Yeah, so usually I don't really say that, sorry, chigaimasu. Right? It's very too confrontational, too direct already. Japanese people will hate you for it. Yeah. It's like I come up to you and say, hey, you're wrong. Then you say, hey, why do? Right? You also will have the shock. Right? Your boss say, hey, you're wrong. You also like, oh, 我犯了什么天下大规? Right? What kind of rule law did I break? So it's quite, to them, Japanese people, it's quite confrontational. It's quite like direct. So they don't like this direct. So instead of telling them they're wrong, they say, maybe you want to do this will be better. So they like to say this kind of thing. Like, maybe you do this will be better. Yeah. So if there's a lot of things you need to read the air about, the room. You need to know the room. Like when someone say that actually this is a better way, then you don't say that no, this is better way. Actually they're just hinting you that you're wrong and then this is the way to do it. Right? Of course in Singapore when someone say, hey, this is a better way, most likely that one is their way. Your way is maybe more efficient. But in Japan when they say this is a better way, you better listen that this is a better way. Because they're just trying to sound nice and don't say that you're wrong. Okay? So you need to understand the culture difference. Okay? So if you want to use it as a wrong, we say example 1, あなたの答えは違います. So your answer is wrong. Okay? Number 2, ここは学校ですか? いいえ、違います. No, you're wrong. Okay? So just understand that 違います also means wrong. Okay, then we have the translation here. Let's move on to conversation 2. This one very long.
Wait, there's a second one.
Yes. Okay, let me just answer this. So, 朝の通り. 通り means street, or rather it means like 道路, right? It just means the 街啦. Okay, it just means 街. So morning, 早上的街啦. Okay, morning street. So basically two person they met each other lah. Okay, so T says おはようございます. Right, good morning. いいお天気ですね. Right, so お天気 is polite way to say weather. Right, 天気 means weather. お天気 is just the polite way to say the weather. So いいお天気. Oh, very nice weather. ですね. ですね simply means it's just like right. Right, so good weather, right? Good weather, huh? Okay, 今朝何時に起きましたか? So this morning, what time you woke up? K says 5時半に起きました. So 5 o'clock, 5:30に起きました. So wake up at 5:30. T says わー早起きですね. わー早起き. So wow, so early. So 早起き comes from two words. 早い. 早い means fast or early. 起き comes from the word 起きます. Right, it means to wake up. So 早起き becomes early wake up. It means early bird lah. Okay, early waker, early bird. Okay, so early bird ですね. So you early bird right? You very early Okay, then 田中さん says, 田中さんは何時に起きましたか? So what time did you wake up? Right, we're talking about this morning, so it's past tense, it's over already. This morning finished already. So past tense 起きましたか? Then T replies, 私は昨日の夜 right, yesterday the one, right, yesterday night. So 昨日の夜 yesterday night 寝ません never sleep でした we never slept, right? So past tense plus negative because it's last night plus never negative, so negative past tense. In case you are copying the translation, there's the translation below, just FYI. Don't have to translate everything. Okay, next we have K says right, this is a shock. Okay, it's like huh? Right, どうしてですか? So どうして is another way to ask for why. It's just why lah. Why? Right? どうして? 为什么? Why? So why ですか? T replies, 今日は英語の試験ですから. Right? We learned this から before already, right? It just means that's why. Right? So 今日は英語の試験ですから. Right? Because today is English exam. Because today is English exam, 一晩中 Benkyou shimashita. So hitobanju, right? Let's break this up. The word ban means night. Okay, the word ban means night. The hito is a way to count things, right? Hitotsu, right? I don't know where you heard before lah. Hitotsu is one. We will learn this in E2. So hito means one. So one night. Ju means like 中. So hitobanju simply means like within the night, within one night, right? Or in the night. Okay. So hitobanju is like whole night lah, whole night long . So it just means like the entire duration of the night, right? 一晚中. So what do you do 一晚中? 勉強しました. So 勉強しました means study. So the whole night, within the whole night, during the whole night, the duration of the night, I studied. Okay? So the entire sentence translates to, because there is English exam today, I studied whole night. Okay? Next case is そうですか. So そうですか is like, is it? Oh, I see. Is it? じゃあ、今日の試験, right? Today's exam, 今日の試験頑張ってください. So please, 加油, please work hard. Okay, please work hard. All the best. Then T says, ところで. Remember what's ところで? We talked about it before in lesson 2, I think. Right? ところで is just a BTW. By the way. Okay? By the way, 木村さんは今 now から so now から from now 啦今から means from now. So from now 仕事ですか? So 仕事ですか means work, right? So from now work? From now is it work? Right? So he's asking him are you working from now on? Are you working from now? Right? 今から from now is it work? Then he say はいそうです. So はい yes you are right. Right? So this is just like that's right, right? That is right. はいそうです yes that's right. Then T replies 今日の仕事は何時から何時までですか? So today's work is what time? From what time until what time ですか? Okay? So K replies いつも午前9時から right? いつも means always whenever, always, often. Always 啦每次每天啦 all the time. So it just means like every time. So usually, or it also means usually also. Usually or always. Always 午前 is AM. So AM 9 AM から So from 9 AM. So always from 9 AM から午後5時まで So until afternoon, until 5 PM. So from 9 AM until 5 PM です. So usually from 9 AM to 5 PM です. Okay? Next line. Demo. Right? Demo, remember what is it? However, very good. Like 但是 like however. So however, 今日は today is 残業です. 残業 means OT. Right? Overtime. So today is overtime ですから. Right? So because today is overtime or today is overtime, that's why. Right? Today is overtime, that's why 8時まで働きます. Until 8 I work. So, right? However, today is overtime, that's why work until 8. Okay? Understand the sentence structure if I phrase it like that? Right? Then T says, そうですか. It's like, oh, I see. Oh, I see. じゃあ、お仕事. Right? 仕事 is work. When you add the O in front, it becomes very polite. お仕事頑張ってくださいね. So 頑張ってください means like please work hard. ね is like ほ. So it's like please work hard ほ. Okay, so please work hard ほ. Okay? Please work hard ほ. Everybody, any questions? No questions? Okay. I will leave the repeating of the conversation to the next time I see you. Okay? You all need a refresher on the passage lah. So I think I ask you to read next week. The next time I see you all will be the better way lah. Okay, so the homework will be lesson 6 homework. right? I will let Mr. Yutaro know that Yutaro Sensei knows that to go through lesson 6 homework, and then to cover lesson 7 vocabulary. Yeah, that will be the best. Then he don't touch anything about lesson 7 grammar. You can talk all you want. But of course I will try to cover lesson 7 when I come back. I will try to rush both lessons together. Right? I will keep the schedule on track.